There comes a moment in life when you begin to realize that the constant need for approval from those closest to you is not only exhausting, but also undermines the respect you truly deserve. Many of us have spent decades trying to please our children, making endless sacrifices, adjusting our lives to meet their demands, and often diminishing our own self-worth in the process, all in the hope that our love will be acknowledged and our opinions valued. Yet, as time passes, we begin to see that this relentless pursuit of validation only leads to frustration, self-doubt, and a growing gap between our genuine selves and the image we project. Today, I want to share with you 6 game-changing ways to break free from this cycle, ways that will not only transform your relationships with your children, but will also return to you the deep, abiding respect you've always deserved. Imagine for a moment a life where you no longer feel compelled to measure your worth by the fleeting approval of others. A life where every decision and every word you express genuinely reflects who you are rather than what you think others expect from you. This isn't about abandoning your children or disengaging from the bonds that tie you together. It's about reclaiming your voice and asserting your value with unwavering confidence. The journey we are about to embark on involves a profound inner shift, a recognition that the only true measure of your worth is the respect you have for yourself. It starts by understanding that the need for external validation is like chasing after shadows. The more you run after it, the further away it seems to go. The power lies instead in standing firm in your own truth and allowing your integrity to become your guiding light. For many years, you may have found yourself bending over backwards, constantly saying yes, even when your heart screams no, and sacrificing your own needs in a desperate bid to earn your children's love. This behavior, though often well-intentioned, teaches your children that your feelings are secondary, while their immediate desires take precedence. Over time, they may begin to view your sacrifices as simply part of who you are, almost as if your willingness to constantly provide for them has become a given, something to be expected rather than appreciated. In this pattern, you may end up feeling ignored, unacknowledged, or even taken for granted. The first step toward changing this dynamic is understanding that your journey toward reclaiming respect begins with you. When you stop chasing approval and start embracing your intrinsic worth, you open the door to healthier, more balanced relationships. To begin, acknowledge that approval is conditional and fleeting. No matter how many times you try to win it, its acceptance is never guaranteed. Instead of standing at the mercy of your children's moods and expectations, start finding value in your own self-worth. Take a deep breath and ask yourself what truly matters in your life, not what will momentarily earn a nod of approval, but what will build a foundation of genuine respect and lasting self-esteem. Realize that when you allow yourself to be channeled by the need for external validation, you are effectively placing your happiness and peace of mind in the hands of others. The moment you decide that your worth is inherent and non-negotiable, you begin to sever the chains of dependency that leave you vulnerable to criticism and neglect. In this process of transformation, you must also learn to set and enforce clear boundaries. Boundaries serve as both a shield and a compass. They protect your well-being and guide how you interact with your children by defining what is acceptable and what is not. Instead of trying to placate every demand or accommodate every whim, begin to voice your needs and expectations. Boundaries are not barriers meant to isolate you. Rather, they are respectful limits that honor the dignity of both you and your children. Consider that every time you allow interruptions, dismissive remarks, or demeaning behavior without question, you inadvertently confirm that such actions are acceptable. By articulating your limits in a calm and direct manner, you challenge the status quo and make it clear that your voice matters just as much as theirs. Picture a scenario where you're sitting at the dinner table and instead of shrinking back with quiet resignation when your children speak over you, you calmly assert, "I'd like to finish what I am saying." then I would love to hear your thoughts. Such small yet powerful statements signal that you are reclaiming your space and demanding to be heard. This isn't about creating conflict or severing ties. It is about rebalancing the relationship to ensure mutual respect. When you consistently reinforce these boundaries, you begin to shift the dynamics. Your children start to understand that your contributions to conversations and decisions are just as valuable as any others, and the cycle of devaluing your presence can gradually be broken. As you take control of your own narrative, focus on building a rich, independent, and fulfilling life outside the constant search for validation from your children. Often, years of devotion to family leave little room for personal growth, hobbies, or interests that once defined who you were. But living solely for the sake of others robs you of your individuality and dims the light of your passions. Reclaim your interests, whether it's painting, gardening, dancing, or any activity that once brought you joy. When you invest time in cultivating your own hobbies and relationships outside the family unit, you not only enrich your life, but also serve as an inspiring example of self-respect. Your children will eventually see that you are not just their caregiver or advisor. You are a dynamic, evolving person with your own full and vibrant life. This independent life is a testament to the fact that happiness and fulfillment do not come from external validation, but from within. Visualize the transformation that occurs when you rebuild your identity on your own terms. Embrace the idea that you can discover talents, interests, and passions that you previously shelved for the sake of family responsibilities. Attend a local art class or join a community group where you can meet people who share your interests. The experiences and achievements that emerge from this renewed engagement with life radiate a contagious energy, subtly yet powerfully shifting your children's perception of you. No longer just the parent who is always available to serve. You become the person who embodies a life well-lived, one that is rich with experiences, self-discovery, and the undeniable strength of character. In turn, your children begin to see you in a new light, not as someone who is simply defined by their needs, but as an individual whose life remains vibrant and meaningful, regardless of their input. Another critical aspect of regaining respect is developing emotional autonomy. Emotional autonomy means taking responsibility for your feelings and learning to find peace within yourself rather than relying on your children's reactions to define your worth. Too often, when our mood or self-esteem is tied up with the fleeting moments of praise or criticism, we become emotionally dependent on others. This dependency can lead to a perilous cycle where our sense of identity is constantly shaken by external opinions. Instead, commit to a practice of self-reflection and self-care that nurtures your inner well-being. Learn to pause, breathe, and center yourself before reacting to words or actions that might otherwise stir up old wounds. Over time, this inner strength becomes a reservoir of calm and stability that not only fortifies you against hurtful behavior, but also sets the stage for healthier, more genuine interactions. This emotional self-sufficiency sends a powerful message. While you cherish the love and connection with your children, you are no longer willing to let their opinions dictate your happiness. As you become more self-reliant emotionally, you begin to feel a deep, unshakable confidence that radiates outward. This aura of calm certainty naturally commands respect, making it clear that you're in charge of your inner world and, by extension, how you allow others to influence it. Embracing authenticity is another transformative pillar in this journey. For too long, many parents have muted their true selves in an effort to conform to the expectations of their children. Whether it's suppressing your opinions, minimizing your achievements, or avoiding vulnerability, these choices come at a steep price, the cost of losing the genuine connection with who you truly are. Every unexpressed emotion or left unsaid opinion chips away at your self-respect, and over time, erodes the very foundation of mutual respect you seek to rebuild. Now is the time to shed those inhibitions and embrace your authenticity. Speak your truth openly and honestly, using language that reflects your feelings without assigning blame or casting judgment. In doing so, you create a new template for interaction, one where authenticity and vulnerability are not weaknesses, but the very qualities that foster deeper, more respectful relationships. Imagine the liberation of sharing your thoughts during a family gathering without fear of judgment or dismissal. Allow your words to resonate with the full weight of your experiences, the triumphs, and even the struggles that have shaped you. When you let your children see the real you, with all your complexities and strengths, they are more likely to admire the courage it takes to be authentic. This transparency invites not only understanding, but also a reciprocal openness that can transform the entire dynamic of your relationship. No longer are you hidden behind a facade of appeasement. You are shining brightly as the person you were always meant to be. And in that light, respect is earned naturally without the need for constant reinforcement. The final component of this journey is perhaps the most visible: leading by example. Your actions speak volumes, far more than any words ever could. When you embody self-respect, set boundaries unfailingly, nurture your own passions, fortify your emotional independence, and communicate authentically, you create an unmistakable model for how respect should be both given and received. Every moment of quiet dignity, every instance of holding fast to your values in the face of adversity, serves as a lesson to your children. They begin to recognize that respect is not something that can be demanded or coerced. It is something that emerges naturally from the way you choose to live your life. This mode of behavior subtly instructs them on how to engage with you and, by extension, with themselves in the future. Reflect on the countless small moments throughout your day, the unpretentious greetings, the decisive stands you make in daily conversations, and the gentle yet firm affirmations of your own worth. Over time, these actions accumulate to paint a clear and compelling picture. You are someone who values and respects yourself. And when others witness this transformation, they are compelled to follow suit. Your children, in particular, will begin to see you not merely as a source of advice or care, but as a wellspring of strength and integrity. They will start to model their own behavior on the foundation of mutual respect that you painstakingly build day by day. This ripple effect, once set in motion, changes the entire family dynamic into one where every member feels seen and valued, and where respect becomes the norm rather than the exception. In every interaction, whether during moments of conflict or times of tranquility, remember that the journey to regain your children's respect is ultimately anchored in your relationship with yourself. The true game changer is acknowledging that you do not need to chase after approval to validate your existence. Instead, by living as the embodiment of confidence and dignity, you naturally inspire those around you to treat you with the respect you deserve. This change doesn't occur overnight, and there will be moments of discomfort as old habits resurface. However, every time you choose to stand firm, every time you opt to prioritize your self-respect over fleeting validation, you take one more step toward creating a more equitable and fulfilling dynamic with your children. Think back on the many times you may have felt hurt by dismissive comments or instances when your opinions were overlooked. Each of these moments is not a measure of your worth, but an invitation to embrace a new approach. Instead of succumbing to anger or regret, channel those feelings into a renewed commitment to honor yourself. Your journey is not just about reclaiming respect from others, but about reaffirming that your identity is complete and that your value is inherent and independent of anyone else's approval. As you navigate this path, remind yourself that every practice of self-assertion, every gentle reminder of your boundaries, and each moment spent cultivating your own life is also a gift to your children, a lesson in what it means to live with authenticity and integrity. Imagine a future family gathering where the energy at the table crackles with mutual respect and genuine connection. It is a scene where laughter and thoughtful conversations flow effortlessly, and where every member of the family feels honored and understood. This isn't a distant dream, but a tangible possibility that starts today. When you let go of the need to be constantly validated and begin to assert yourself in ways that are authentic and unapologetic, your children will not only notice, but they will gradually begin to emulate that behavior. Over time, the respect you rekindle becomes the cornerstone of all your interactions, transforming disputes into dialogues and misunderstandings into avenues for growth. The road ahead may demand patience, yet each step is a testament to your unyielding commitment to self-respect. Even if your children initially react with resistance or confusion, hold steadfast in your new way of being. In time, as they witness the calm, confident, and self-assured person you have become, they too will begin to understand that the dynamics of respect must evolve. You are not diminishing the love you have for them by asserting your own worth. On the contrary, you are enriching the relationship by encouraging a level of maturity and reciprocity that benefits everyone. Every day, in both quiet and challenging moments, you have the opportunity to choose the path of dignity over the habit of seeking validation, and this choice is nothing short of transformative. I invite you now to take a moment and reflect on your own life. Think about those times when you felt compelled to suppress your true self in order to meet the expectations of your children. Consider the countless moments when you compromised your own values in the pursuit of their approval. And now, picture the profound change that will occur when you finally decide that you deserve better, that you deserve to be respected simply for who you are. This is not a call to be distant or cold, but a call to embrace a healthier, more authentic connection where your self-respect is not negotiable. The journey to reclaiming your rightful place as a respected and valued individual within your family begins with you. Every word you speak, every boundary you set, and every pursuit of your personal passion is an affirmation that you will no longer settle for anything less than the respect you deserve. Ultimately, by living this truth every day, you rewrite the narrative of your relationship with your children. You show them that the love you offer comes from a place of strength and authenticity, and that respect is built on a foundation of mutual care and understanding rather than on shallow commendations. In time, as the layers of old habits peel away, you will find that the dynamics within your family begin to harmonize. Your interactions will shift from moments of silent frustration to opportunities for deep, meaningful dialogue. And as you continue to model self-respect and authenticity, your children will learn to mirror these values in their own lives. Their growth into self-assured, respectful individuals will be one of the most gratifying rewards of your journey, a living, breathing testament to the transformative power of standing in your truth. As you close your eyes each night, let the resolve to live authentically and demand the respect that is rightfully yours be the final thought of the day. Let each breath serve as a reminder that you are more than the sum of your circumstances and that your inner strength can guide you through even the most uncertain moments. Break free from the burden of chasing approval and instead embrace the liberating truth that your worth is inherent and immutable. This is your awakening, a turning point in your life that marks the beginning of a new era, one where the respect you receive is a natural consequence of the respect you have for yourself. Now, as these words settle within you, commit to taking the first small, decisive step today. Perhaps it is speaking up in a conversation where you have remained silent for too long. Or maybe it is setting a clear boundary that you once hesitated to enforce. Each step, no matter how minor it may seem at the moment, is an act of reclaiming your identity and building the foundation on which true respect is constructed. And as you continue along this journey, remember that the efforts you make not only uplift you, but also inspire those around you to cultivate the same strength and authenticity within themselves. Let this be your turning point, a moment when you choose to no longer be defined by the approval of others, but instead to define yourself by the worth you intrinsically hold. Embrace your uniqueness, celebrate your resilience, and allow your unwavering commitment to self-respect to shape every aspect of your life. Over time, you will find that the respect you once yearned for becomes a natural byproduct of the person you have become, a person who knows that true validation originates from within. And in that profound realization lies the power to transform not only your relationship with your children, but also the very essence of your being. Thank you for joining me on this journey, a journey of self-discovery, empowerment, and the triumphant revival of your true self. Let these words echo in your heart long after this message has been spoken, guiding you to live a life marked by dignity, authenticity, and an unwavering commitment to the respect you have always deserved. The age of chasing approval is over. A new chapter begins where you lead with strength, speak with conviction, and live as the person you were always meant to be. Embrace this moment and let your light shine in a family that learns with every passing day to honor the true measure of love, one that is built on mutual respect, understanding, and the freedom to be unapologetically yourself.